Mornings, right after we wake up, are by far the worst parts of our days. Or at least, that's what I used to think. For most of my life, I thought that morning routines and healthy morning habits were basically a waste of time. I thought that mornings were just the part of the day you had to get through. But what I didn't know was that having an enjoyable, healthy morning routine is actually an essential part of having a good day. So this is how I changed my mindset from mornings are the most terrible thing that's ever happened to us to becoming a morning person.
Good morning, people. I just woke up and it's 7:45-ish a.m. and it's Sunday today. So let's get on with our morning routine.
Take me home.
Not so long ago, my relationship with sleep was pretty terrible. I would stay up until 3 a.m. to study, wake up at 5 a.m. to go to field hockey practice, and take a random nap at 12 p.m. and do it all over again the next day. All through undergrad, I basically made no effort at all to improve this, and that was mostly because I just didn't care. I would tell myself that I just had to push through the fatigue, and the part of being a hard-working student was pulling all-nighters, suffering through the pain of sleep deprivation. But that was until I realized I was wrong. My bad relationship to sleep wasn't just making me tired, it was literally taking over, making me more anxious and depressed and preventing me from doing and enjoying everything I wanted to do with my life. So when I started to make my sleep schedule more consistent, my whole life changed for the better. That's why I find the best way to think about my morning routine is to understand it actually starts the night before.
There are melodies that
If I've gone to sleep too late and wake up feeling really tired, I'm probably not going to have enough energy and motivation to complete the habits I need to start my day off right. And getting enough sleep isn't just important for your morning routine, it's the foundation of literally everything important in the rest of your day too. Not everyone is going to have the same ideal sleep and wake up times though. We all have different bodies and life circumstances that affect our sleep. As long as you're getting enough of it, the most important thing is to just find a schedule and routine that works for you and then do your best to be consistent with it. Consistency is what's going to allow you to wake up feeling your best so you can actually build the morning habits you need to make your day go well.
from these lips could be sufficient.
Going through my skincare routine is always one of my favorite parts of my morning because it really feels like I'm doing something to look after myself, which is why it's usually the first thing I do. It's a daily reminder of the importance of self-care and focusing on myself that always leaves me feeling more comfortable with me and my appearance than I did beforehand. And it doesn't just benefit my appearance, it also contributes to building my self-confidence, which is something all of us are working towards every day. When our skin looks and feels its best, it's much easier to head out in the world without being so self-conscious and worried about the way others are perceiving us. Incorporating skincare into my morning routine really helped me stay consistent with it because it gave me something to look forward to that I knew was actually good for me.
Somehow it keeps getting better. I waited forever, better late than never.
And once I really solidified my morning habits, I realized how good it felt to wake up already knowing what to do, instead of having to figure it out from scratch every day. And from that point on, I started to add more and more healthy habits to my mornings, which really started to jumpstart my days in a way I didn't realize was possible.
My best to compromise, 'cause I think I really like how you're always staring at you.
My sleep schedule used to be so messed up before, and honestly, it makes the biggest difference. I can't imagine those people whose bodies are set to, let's say, wake up at noon, but in a society where we live today, from 9 to 5 jobs, and school usually starts at 8 or sometimes even 7 a.m., it must be really difficult for them to kind of feel tired throughout the whole day, all the time. That's why I think that we kind of value people who wake up early in the morning, because our society is built around those kind of sleep schedules. Even though if everybody is doing the same thing during the daytime when they're awake, a person who wakes up at 5 a.m. might not necessarily be more productive than a person who wakes up at 8 a.m. or somebody who wakes up at 12 p.m. So Definitely sleep and sleep quality, getting enough sleep, sleep time, and waking up at a certain time are all super big privileges that I'm super thankful for.
I kinda like your dimples with that so dumb, but I can't think straight. I've been thinking really long and now it's getting late. Oh,
I don't work out every morning, but I do try to incorporate exercise into my morning routine at least a few times a week. Regular exercise obviously has a lot of physical and aesthetic benefits for your body, but it also extends further than just that. The first thing I notice is that it helps me shake off whatever stress I have left over in the morning from the day before, and by the time I finish my workout, I feel like I've actually been productive and accomplished something with my day, even though it's only begun. Also, as long as it's not too intense, a bit of exercise often gives me a boost of energy and mental clarity, which helps me bring a lot of enthusiasm into the day, whatever I have to complete. And stretching in particular helps with calmness and anxiety, even if it's just for a few minutes. Exercise can also just be really fun on its own. It doesn't have to be forcing yourself to go to the gym and lift weights or do cardio. It can be playing a sport with some friends or doing whatever YouTube workouts you want. Picking a form of exercise that you actually enjoy increases the chances that you actually stick to what you want to do. That was fun. And if you find something that you really like to do, you'll probably find it brightens up the rest of your day. At least that's what happened to me. So don't worry too much about what it is you're doing, as long as you're doing something active that you actually have fun with.
This robe is so fluffy.
Reminiscing on the time when we first met. I was tongue-tied, stupefied. What was it that I said?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to stretch after my run. I'm so bad at that. I've been trying to make it a habit for a while now, and I have been doing it a couple of times a week, but not every day. So I need to get on that. Maybe I'll make it a nighttime stretch today. Oh yeah, and this robe has a hood. So cute.
You said this is all you want. No more playing all this. Waiting. I'll call you mine.
resident of a mansion with halls I'd never mentioned and rooms that I don't think I've ever seen. Skeletons in the closet with shirts.
Just like sleep, food is definitely a part of my life that I neglected for a long time. Especially as an undergrad, I would just eat whatever I wanted and paid no attention to its effects on my health and my well-being. And then after months of eating nothing but takeout, I would wonder why I felt so slow and sluggish all the time. In hindsight, it's obvious, but at the time, it hadn't really hit me yet that proper nutrition is needed to actually benefit from everything else. Our bodies depend on the fuel we provide it to function and recover, so eating a healthy and balanced diet is really a kind of self-care. Understanding the importance of nutrition is definitely a reason why I started to prioritize a healthy morning routine, because the first meal we eat every day is, of course, in the morning, usually. A healthy breakfast provides us with energy and focus, and that's how I realized how important my morning routine truly is. It's not just about making mornings more enjoyable, but rather about setting yourself up for success in every possible way. And of course, what better way can there be to spend a bit of time talking with your boyfriend before you get started on the work we have ahead of ourselves.
But I can see through the surface. You're alone to hide your loneliness, and I know, 'cause you're an awful lot like me.
For
I've really come to value the time I spend journaling, drawing, reflecting, and doing my affirmations, and just generally taking a step back from life to reflect on how I feel about my life, what I would want to go differently, and what goals I want to be working towards. Throughout most of my day-to-day life, we spend nearly all of our time looking outwards, towards our living spaces and possessions, towards the people around us, towards everything that's out in the world we live in. So it can be really easy to get lost in the busyness and anxiety of everyday life without ever stopping to look inwards, ask ourselves how we're actually feeling, to check on our physical and mental health. But if we don't take the time to do that, it's so much harder to actually recognize when we're not at our best, and most importantly, identify the reasons why we're feeling sad or anxious on any given day. Journaling can help us by reinforcing our positive thoughts too. Writing down our thoughts and aspirations pushes us to focus on them more closely, adjusting our thoughts and behavior so they're more aligned with the vision we have for ourselves and the people around us. And that's why I like to do this in the morning, because it allows me to set my intentions for the day, focusing on the goals and feelings I actually want to prioritize rather than what my mind happened to fixate on when I woke up. Even though I spent most of my life as someone who didn't really care about my morning routines at all, I slowly came to realize that they're actually an extremely important part of making my days go well. And even though it might not be everyone who will benefit from exactly the things that I do, there's no doubt that we can all do something in our mornings to make sure the rest of our day goes as well as possible. It will always be worth it to make a morning routine that works for you, because at the end of the day, there's no better investment you can make than the one you make in yourself.
Just a little less lonely, sounds cliche, but it's true.